defile it, and who have defiled it. And this is where the violence and wrath of God, if you would, will take place. And let me show it to you. You've heard about Armageddon and all that. Let me show you something. Overhead 236 from ABC News. Genetic code landlords. Is business getting in the way of good scientific research? There are 3 billion steps in the ladder of human blueprint. Will these rungs have a landlord with its codes and charges scientists to them? It's a lot like the old gold rush days, it says here. You can start with a little bit of human DNA, put it in a computer, and then literally check each rung of the ladder and see each chemical. The chemicals have letter names. Each rung is being decoded in the right order, and after a few weeks you see thousands of things. If you can figure out even roughly what any particular group of these chemicals do in a human being, the United States government will reward you with a patent. Once the patent issues, for 17 years, you own this strip of DNA, and if scientists want to work on it, you can charge them rent. Do you understand? I don't know if you understand what that says. It's your DNA. And yet people, companies, corporations are getting patents on strands of DNA so that when a scientist needs part of it to cure cancer or cure diabetes, they'll have to get permission from the owner who has a patent on the DNA, which would be some corporation. Look at overhead 237. If a particular stretch of DNA happens to include part of the cure for cancer, then this is very valuable territory. Just the chance to be a DNA landlord has proved to be so desirable that the patent office is now flooded with applications, and the incentive worked. By the end of the year, all 3 billion rungs of the ladder, the entire blueprint of a human being, will probably be decoded. There are so many claims for patents pouring into the office that it could cause big problems. For example, if a team of brilliant scientists thinks that a cure for cancer could be on a particular strip of DNA, if the DNA is patented, it is private property. So they will have to ask who the landlord for the strip is and get permission to work there. What kind of a country is this that even allows such a thing as patenting your DNA? Scientists who are trying to cure cancer, scientists who are trying to cure Alzheimer's will have to get permission from the owner of the patent. As one of the corporate bigwigs say, well, you know, about making money on this, that's the general idea. But why should cancer researchers pay this landlord anything? These days, to own a stake in DNA, how much work do you have to do? Do these landlords arrive and charge? Well, our being here is what created a lot of this information, they say, and they want to get paid for it. We spent millions of dollars. They produce long lists of chemicals, but is this good enough to get landlords started? Shouldn't these companies do real medical research? They're not, in fact, as far as we know, working on therapies for particular genes. You want to go to 38, and we'll just see here. They're in the business of churning out sequences, blah, blah. This means that some of them are grabbing territory on our genes, hoping that scientists will find gold there later. It raises the question, does decoding some genes and making a rough guess about the use result in a speeding up of tests and cures for disease, or will these landlords in the end just make the cures a little more expensive? What you're reading is bizarre, because it is so bizarre simply because what we're talking about is the single eye in the sky. Aradamus, Jesus, Jacob, God, the light of the world, the supreme light being. But look what's down on earth. Is everybody on their knees? Is everybody in meditation? Is everybody looking up? Is everybody saying, wow, Alzheimer's is going to be cured? Cancer is going to... No, what are they doing? They're running around trying to make a buck on it. That's all that this is about. It's about the corporations, it's about the capitalists or communists or whatever you want to call them, trying to make a buck on somebody else's misery. And even willing to hold up the progress of the curing of these diseases until the money's there. Look at overhead B27. Let me show you something. Revelation. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and